All right, everybody, good afternoon and welcome on back. Continuing along, of course, our Thursday afternoon here live in the Cyber Group Trading Room and streaming across social media. Welcome on back, guys, from Facebook and YouTube for our afternoon meeting. Let's get a quick sound check just to begin. Make sure everyone can hear me loud and clear. There we go. The usual suspects in tow. I always say that in complimentary form here in our trading room. All of our regular students, all of our regular members here joining us. Michael, David, Pat, Dennis, Kathleen, Chuck, Ron, Guy, Jose. Greg. You guys are coming in too fast now. I tried doing it. Great to see everybody, though, loud and clear, unanimous from all. And like I'd said, for all of us joining on social media, guys, welcome on back. So without further ado, let's hop into it. We ended up seeing the Dow make a bit of a dip at first, but exploded shortly after 10 a.m. Eastern time. So we had a nice recovery across the market, but ever since it's been a little wonky, making these lower highs across the day. And at least for now, you could see the Dow Jones beginning to pull back towards 25.4. So for right now, at least for the meantime, we'll come back to the side list stocks. The VXRT is what I want to begin with. So with VXRT, guys, this stock, we ended up seeing it make a huge move yesterday. It was really early on in pre-market. News came out yesterday in relation to VXRT. Vaxert Inc. set to join the Russell 3000 index. That's what we had early on. I bring that up because we ended up seeing a big move, of course, yesterday. You could see it on the daily charts. So I'm just going to post the news here, at least on the live stream, and then we'll head right back to yesterday. Do a small little history lesson here on this VXRT dating back to yesterday. So we ended up seeing this make a nice run up earlier yesterday morning, but more so heading into the afternoon. We put this on our list. Go back to yesterday's stream, yesterday's recording on YouTube. We put this sucker right on our list here, waiting for the breakout over 3. We ended up seeing this run up towards 320, held off 3 as support, and then broke higher going into the afternoon. I think there was even more news that came out this morning, if I'm not mistaken. I'll try and get that in a moment. But you could see at least once the market opened up today, the VXRT trade just exploded right out of the gate. Hey, these small cap stocks are not really going to correlate as much with, a major index like the Dow. I always have the Dow up here just to show. But, you could see at least, whereas the Dow dipped at the open, VXRT exploded right out of the gate. So, really no weight needed on this trade. Moved right up over the pre-market resistance off 375, moved right up to 4, broke over 4. Really, I'll tell you guys, we had 2 huge icebergs on the ask early in the morning. And it wasn't off of 375 or so. It was off of 4, whole number resistance, which we would expect, but also $4.20. And I bring that up. I mean, it might seem easy to see based on the chart, but you would figure a strong resistance would likely create a strong support. So heading into the afternoon, you could see exactly where the VXRT ended up holding off. It wasn't 4, it was 420. This thing ended up making a double bottom essentially right off the 420, really a higher low, we'll call it. But since this trade's been squeezing back up, so it seems like this wants to make a stronger run up towards the whole number off of 5. We ended up seeing big volume get filled once it was testing that iceberg on the ask earlier. So, at least that's a good sign. There's buying interest at 5. Got to make sure it retests the level, breaks above it for us to think it's going to make perhaps a second big squeeze going into the afternoon. Normally a stock like VXRT up 47+%, I'll be honest, normally we don't tend to see that type of second clean run up, much like we saw from earlier today. I hope I'm wrong. And at least for now, we'll put this on our list. In the meantime, we'll put some focus on it, see if it will eventually keep making these higher lows, squeezing back up towards 5. All right, so VXRT was one of the better trades, at least from this morning, guys. Another one I ended up calling out, at least just going into the afternoon. You know what? Actually, we'll get to that in a second. We'll go into a couple of these others here first. Rite Aid, RAD, ended up posting earnings. And to be transparent, we've seen Rite Aid make this type of extended run up, off of earnings here. I think even the last time they posted, if I'm not mistaken, I don't remember when the last time it was. It was either the last earnings report or the one prior to that. We saw RAD gap up early in pre-market, but after the open, it continued to go. I mean, this was up just about 25-30% from what I remember the last time we traded it off earnings. So, hey, history, I guess, has a pretty good tendency to repeat itself. This RAD trade ended up making this beautiful Fausto flag underneath 15, ended up making that big pop, huge volume spike. And of course, much like we ended up just seeing on VXRT, strong resistance ended up creating strong support. So, that's where you ended up seeing 15 hold, squeeze up to 16 and above. And at least for now, we're going to add this right to our list as well, even more so on the way down, because, at least if RAD is going to pull back a bit and we see some profit taking going into the afternoon, if it doesn't continue to run up, at least it is shortable. So, hey, we'll follow the trend. We'll follow, the volume-based support resistance. But at least for the meantime, this is a great tradable stock either way, up or down, right, Aid? All right, we'll go into the I&O trade, Inovio Pharmaceuticals. I mean, to be honest, it was either VXRT or the I&O I was going to start off with here. Inovio, we ended up seeing just continuation once more on this. I mean, hey, we've been following this stock. I mean, we went over this just, dating back to late January, but you could see even dating back into early March, more news came out in relation to testing for a vaccine. I think just the headline was like they had robust data. That was the headline that I actually remember. And it ended up leading to that giant pump, but then a huge dump back down, right? So, with more news out and stronger conviction, I guess, of their vaccine providing good data to prevent COVID, or at least to, cure COVID, so to say, we ended up seeing a huge run up, a couple days back, and then of course day over day. So I wouldn't expect this to continue. I mean, I said that yesterday, but here we are. So at least for right now, I&O, I'm going to put on our list. It'll be on the very bottom, kind of similar to the VXRT. 30 is the major resistance here going into the afternoon for this trade. We ended up seeing big volume getting filled a couple of times here on the run up the first time. False breakout, expectedly so. But right over here, this was pretty nasty. I was thinking for sure that if this were to break above 30 here and hold perhaps over 30 as support, we'd end up seeing a new high. Obviously, we got the pop, but not the hold. Ended up pulling right back down, held underneath 30, and making a bit of a lower low, at least here. So I'll put this on our list. This one I don't really have as high hopes on, and we can't short this, unfortunately. So, it'd be kind of on the back end of our list here for right now, just in case if it makes that run back up to 30. All right, let's go back to that KTOV. I was going to get to that there. Cheapy, slow. Ooh, dump back down here pretty nastily, huh? We called this out as it was making the move up towards 135, and it was doing pretty good at the time. I mean, we were following this at least over the last few days, but more so going into the early to mid-afternoon. It was running up over 120, saw it make a move up towards 135, 140 high of the day, and then all of a sudden, damn. I don't know if news came out on this. I'm going to take a quick look on Benzinga Pro. Normally, if you were to see a shake that big, news came out, or if anything, maybe it was just algo trading taking the stops out. Nothing coming out here, on KTOV at least here from the afternoon. So, huge shake down to what appears to be 106 and, pulled back up. I mean, it's building a bit of a pennant. Maybe it squeezes back up 5 or so cents, but at this stage right now, I'm not going to focus on this. That's unfortunate. All right, from Jose in our chat board, he's saying VXRT is moving. Let's take a look at that one last time, but we'll head back to the percent gainers and losers list. We'll continue to build up this list. Yeah, it's doing a good job, Jose. So very good call. Nice higher low. At least it pushed back up for the meantime. Nice rounded bottom overall across the afternoon. We'll see if this can make the run. All right, cool. So we'll go from top to bottom, guys. And really, actually, I could have also ran through EKSO to begin. EKSO, pre-market move up early on this morning. I stayed away from this early after the market opened up. Obviously, I paid the price by not jumping in because it seemed like it would have been a really nice pop. EKSO early this morning, guys. I'm just going to get the news for you. I'm going to copy and paste. Basically, just FDA clearance. I don't want to stumble over my words saying a bunch of stuff above my pay grade. So there's the news. EKSO, at least FDA clearance just on one of their drugs, but nonetheless, a huge run. Ended up pulling back, and that's to be the case. For a stock that gets halted a few times on the way up, especially 2, 3, 4 times. Once this ends up getting halted on the way down, right over here, no bueno. That usually leads to a bigger drop-off, volume dying off, and usually the end of the entire run. Well, man, this thing just had a second run, so ended up squeezing back up, breaking above resistance. The highs at the time, right off of 7, essentially, ended up making a new leg up towards essentially high of the day, 850, 876 high. Right now, again, very similar to VXRT and very similar to I&O and whatnot. It'd be very tough for me to think it's going to make a second clean run going into the afternoon. Well, really third clean run, so to say, right? Pre-market after the open here. And then, I mean, if you want to call these extended, but, to make a second or third or fourth big move up, it's tough to say. So, at least for right now, I feel like the run is done on this. I feel like the stock has kind of just exhausted itself out. Come back to it probably, if not tomorrow, then some point next week. I'll probably pull back, tank, and then maybe, make a second little leg up some morning. PHCF, very low float stock. We ended up seeing this make a run up yesterday, gap up, early on in pre-market, run up again. Again, for such a nice volume spike up towards high of the day, 625, it really crapped out afterwards, didn't it? Yeah, I don't like seeing that. So for right now, I mean, if you ended up catching it off the pop and made some quick money, congrats. But at least for right now, I don't really have as high hopes on this for the last hour here. All right, VXRT, we just went over it, but one more look. Still going, at least for now. APVO here, another small cap, low float stock, made a nice leg up earlier today. The KTOV trade, nice little pop, 5 or so cents. Like I said, this IPDN, wow, this thing's pushing back up once more. We ended up seeing them reopen from trading. I mean, they were halted. Like I forgot why they were halted, but they were halted and suspended from trading. Rather, it's back from like November of 2019. I'll go back on the daily chart like I did yesterday, but the IPDN trade reopened. It was a nice squeeze up in pre-market, dumped back down as expected. Nice little move up going into the afternoon at least. I don't have my level 4 up, my book map, so to say, but you could see at 215, about 8,000 shares on the offer between 212 and 215, 2 bigger orders there. So I'd say both of those be resistance. Yeah, I mean, for right now, I'll add this to our list, IPDN. Hopefully it just doesn't dump back down, but I like the recent activity on this one. This is FMCI warrants. Nice move up, tight spread, liquid order book. Just check out regular FMCI. Would have went to it anyway on the gainer side, but both are moving up pretty well here at this point. FMCI regular shortable. FMCIW, yeah, hard to borrow. All right. So I guess we'll add both of these as well. I just hope that we don't have too big of a list going into the afternoon. Maybe I'll scratch the IPDN trade off if it dumps back down then. All right, so we'll add both the FMCI and the warrants there too. So a pays move up all day today, or at least all morning. Still near the highs. Interesting. All right. Slowed down a little bit. Made a huge move up earlier today, guys. So I like that it's near the highs, but it's tough for me to just expect again new move up. So we'll pass on this for right now. We'll come back to the RAD because Andrea in our trading room just said RAD tanking. So very similar to what I'd said before. It's not breaking higher. At least it is shortable. And it'll crap out, hopefully, and it'll be a good short opportunity. Support off of 16, you would imagine here, and shaking around through the level though. So looks like it broke through 16. Not a whole lot of volume got filled here. Smaller, I mean a smaller large spike, so to say, like an oxymoron, like jumbo shrimp here. Across the last 5 or 10 minutes, bigger, but compared to recent, So it's holding over 16 for right now, Andrea. Good call. It's dropping off steadily at least. INO already on our list. APDN, this one we'll jump to pretty quickly. APDN was making a nice run before the meeting started here. Not only the run on the 1-minute chart, but looking at this trade, we followed this back a few weeks ago. You could see just based on the big volume spikes, a couple of days where it pumped and dumped, but of course, a couple of other days where it made some big moves up like you're seeing here. I like the mid to late afternoon run for right now between this run on the 1-minute chart and just seeing how much this stock dropped off over the last year and a half or so. This could be a nice little short squeeze to work with going into the afternoon. I don't know the float on this trade, but obviously if it's lower float, it can make a more explosive run going into the afternoon here. So yeah, this APDN trade, add right to our list. And I'll tell you, Fausto just covered that this afternoon, guys. We just ended up doing one of our introductory Today Trading webinars. We'd like to welcome all of our new trial members joining us from that very event. But you guys heard that from Fausto himself earlier today, talking about short squeezes. This certainly looks like one right now. All right. Hopefully not a 30 stock watch list going into the afternoon. Just a couple other familiar names here quickly. Just get the 1-minute chart back. Let's see. Anything else? GNC. It's at the lows right now. Yep, pump and dump early in the morning, 6 a.m. Look at this thing. Really minimal buying opportunity. I guess after the open, it squeezed up. I wasn't there to call it. Dumped right back down, though. From Cheryl, is that webinar available for replay? It definitely is. For anyone that had registered, it should be just available through email. And just for any one of our students like you, Cheryl, we'll look to just send that out to you. No problem. TTOO tattoo, as we like to nickname it, T2. Not really doing anything. All right, we'll hop over to the losers list, guys. Actually, before we do that, Fausto's data trade is moving up higher right now. I don't think he's in this anymore as a swing trade. He was following this just a few days back. It is moving up nicely, just a bit of a spread. Huge iceberg order. Look at that. 32,000 share for such a thinner order book and for a stock that has such a wacky spread. That's a huge resistance. Damn. All right, so that's a big one. I mean, maybe keep an eye on that price, but we're going to see if there's anything looking a little bit more volume, steadier, or as steady, rather. I thought there was just one more. Oh, it was the SR&E trade before we hop over to the losers list. You know what? I'm going to add this trade to our list going into the afternoon. I'll tell you, it looks like a short, right? I mean, double bottom, testing, whole number support off 6. But if anything, guys, if this doesn't make a clean break below 6 and squeezes back through 6 on the way up, I'd say that might be the dead cat bounce here. I mean, it seems like on the daily chart, it's just going to sink lower, fill the gap from the pre-market run up. But, hey, I'll keep this on our list for right now. It's just at a major, support level. So SRNA, we'll give this another go. Here's the test. Look at all the red on the tape here. Let's see what happens. Dennis says 68,000 more at 499. Take a look at my level 4 right now, Dennis. If I have it up. I don't see that on my book map. I see 55,000 total on my book map, at least 53,000 or so on the matrix. See what happens at 599. Oh, maybe you said 499. Let's see, maybe looking all the way down. You got to figure every whole number, there's going to be a major level of support. I'll be honest though, Dennis, even looking on Bookmap, and I'll send you guys the picture here coming up in the trading room, there's like not much support even showing at 5 in relation to what we have at 6. So that's where I think this could be a really interesting bounce point for this SR&E trade. You just don't want to try and catch the falling knife though. That's the issue on this trade. All right, we'll hop over to the losers list. This one will make the cut for the meantime. XERS, ZERS, whatever you call it. Pharma stock. It is shortable. It is at the lows of the day. So either way you cut it, I love this going into the afternoon, guys. It's not too cheap, not too close to the ground floor on the daily chart. I don't know if this is all-time lows or not. We'll check that in just a moment, but I'm just going to write this down for the meantime. XERS. A lot of these pharma companies, usually once they gap down like this, it's tough to say for them to come back. Let's take a look here, at least on Benzinga Pro. This is XERS. We got some time. Let's see. From yesterday, it says Xeris Pharmaceuticals announces proposed public offerings of 20 million common stock, 60 million of convertible senior notes. Big drop off, I guess, with that. In fact, it's shortable is the only reason I'm going to put this on our list. With it down as much as it is, perhaps we could look at for a dead cat bounce if we happen to see the shorts cover. But for right now, we're going to respect the trend, respect the fact that this just broke down below 3. And it looks like it's trending lower. So there's a bigger order on the ask. Look to follow that 32,000 share order at 297. If that gets filled, you might see this make a pop. All right, bunch of crap otherwise hard to borrow, as usual. That's the go-to saying here. Red Rock Resort, take a look, down 11%, shortable. Did make it just a nice break just a moment ago. I mean, tradable stock. Oh, not near the lows, though, just yet. Low of the day at 10. If it was closer to the lows, I'd be more interested. I mean, it's a tradable stock for right now. We'll see if there's anything looking better. A couple questions coming in on the trading room we have here from one of our new members, Elam, asking, I noticed that there are 2 time and sales windows, curious as to why. So, hey, we tend to cover that in detail in our live classroom, and alongside that here in our live trading room, we have a live workshop that we tend to do called Traders Talk Weekly every Tuesday. Long story short, though, to give you the answer, the one on the left shows us just only bigger transactions, filters out the tinier ones. So it helps us, better read it. That's all. All right, guys, I just got a quick ping. Pardon the interruption here, but there we go. VXRT. There's the pop. Moving up nicely. Let's keep it going, though. All right, guys, let's see if there's anything else, just up, down, left, right, let me know. I want to see something with a steady trend like this, not to say breaking a new high or low, automatically, but, something on a steady trend or maybe setting itself up for a breakout or breakdown. We have Michael. We saw a few call outs on Penn National here. Penn National Gaming looking for support around 31. Yeah, it's down big, shortable. It was kind of breaking lower at first, but like Michael was pointing out, it seems to be holding support. This one is more susceptible to following the Dow or a major index like this. So, you could see it's breaking lower, but, with the Dow beginning to inch up over the last, 15, 20 or so minutes, perhaps Penn's trying to find some support around that 31. Yeah, let's go through the side list stocks. I wouldn't mind adding Penn at the end of it all. I want to see if there's anything looking sharper, perhaps. But yeah, Penn's a good call. NCLH, nope, not really doing much. UAL. UAL's near the highs. This is having a pretty damn good day. Near 34. It's not up or down a whole lot percent-wise, but obviously, this could be a good setup. MGM, really flat, not doing anything. My Neo stock, I would assume for this to be really flat. Just wanted to take a look. All right, I'll tell you what, Mike, we got you. We'll add Penn to the list. Looking pretty good out of the side list stocks for right now. Good call. All right, guys, let me know if there's anything else just on YouTube in the trading room. Otherwise, we should be good to go. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Not too big. Pat picking up 9 cents on the VXRT trade. He jumped in at 501, closed out at 510. Seems like nice trade, Pat. Let's see here. We got a couple comments. I'm sorry, just jumping back to YouTube right now from one of our members here. DKS is a short. Dick's Sporting Goods. Yeah. I mean, it's not really doing a whole lot for a $40 stock. Kind of slow. Penn was making a bigger move, at least so far. Tradable stock by all measures. Tight spread, liquid order book. WKHS rallying. We have a comment here. Yeah, nice bounce off of 770 and 750. So if we go back, I didn't add those lines just now, guys. I mean, from yesterday, we ended up watching 770, 750, 2 major levels of resistance acting as 2 major levels of support. That's interesting. Squeezing off 8 right now. Good call. I mean, at least for right now, we will add WKHS. Yeah. We expected the pullback this morning, so to see a tank was no surprise. But maybe now we could see this begin to run a little bit higher. It has already, so hopefully the run's not done, at least on the way up towards 850. I would expect 850 to hold here the first time at least, but yeah, good call. Let's see. I think that's it, guys. I think we're good. All right, so I think 11 stocks now, not too big. All right, so I'll post and tweet these guys for any one of our members on social media looking to learn more about CTU, Cyber Trading University. Just give a call to the phone number down below. One of our members will pick up, just provide more detail. For all of our students here, keep in mind, no class today. We are finishing up the Phase 2 stock course coming up tomorrow. So we'll be locked and loaded and going into this afternoon, guys. Take care.